robust urban garlic flavor.
I've been saying this over and over. I've made countless videos about it. DSP does not value his audience's time. He is like an old man at a nursing home who wants to talk to you all day because he's lonely. Phil, a live stream is not your social hangout. It is your business. It is not a therapy session for you. You shouldn't use your fans as a way for you to cope with your begging existence. Their time is valuable, whether you think so or not. Now, you may be wondering, why am I getting into this today all of a sudden? Well, he was late to his stream by about 30 minutes. He says he starts at 11:15. He really turns the camera on at 11:45. He came on at 12:15 his time, and he had an announcement to make. And he proceeded to go on a 25-minute complaining session about, you guessed it, RGB lights. Yes, the most minor inconsequential thing. DSP makes a mountain out of it. It's just so ridiculous. I can't even bother. I can't even believe it. Well, with Phil, yeah, I can believe it. He goes on these rants like once every 3 weeks, and yeah, it's not even about money. It's just him being a total idiot. Now, what any rational human being would do is like say, okay, this is the time I usually go on stream. I'm not even gonna waste an extra 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just gonna go live and say, oh, I got no RGB lights today. He decides to waste his audience's time because that is Phil's favorite pastime. If he didn't have the mods set up for GTA 4 tonight, he would have been cleaning out his closet. That is how Phil operates. You are expected to digest the content regardless and enjoy it and tell him it's brilliant. And you know, I should have seen this coming because he's been constantly complaining about the RGB lights. Like after he turns off the game, he's like, I just got to make sure the lights turn on and things like that. Well, today he had a technical issue crash out and it's a 220 code red alert. Let's get into it.
Good morning, everyone.
I hate to break it to you, but we're already 17 minutes past noon.
Well, you know what they say. Better late than never. I don't like being late to my show, and I certainly don't like being almost an hour late, but...
Dude, you schedule your streams at 11:15. Even when you are there, you schedule 30 minutes plus of pre-rolls. You're late every day. You may be on the stream, but you haven't started anything.
Once again, very annoying technical issues reared their ugly head this morning. As you can see, things look completely different, don't they? There's good reason for that. Basically, I've had enough of the technical issues that I've been having with my wireless network and or with my lighting. So I'm going to start doing something different today. We're going to talk about it. I'm probably going to adjust it because it looks too bright, doesn't it? It looks like it's way bright in here. I think it's way too much light. So we will talk about that.
By we, he means him ranting and complaining about it for 20 plus minutes.
On today's Better Late Than Never episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
He really thinks he is doing a morning talk show. I'm serious. It only took him 15 years to perfect that intro, but good thing he finally figured it out on the 9,000th time.
And let's just talk right now. Let's get it out of the way. Let's talk about technical issues and the situations that I've been having at this point, all right?
Yeah, so Fox McFox did a super chat telling him, I'm never donating to you again because you don't value your viewers' time. If it was seriously you waiting for like an hour trying to figure out RGBs. He does the whole rant before addressing it, so it shows you, once again, he loves to waste his audience's time.
Because at this point, to be honest with you, I've just had enough.
Phil, I've had enough of you wasting your viewers' time for years. You just think you're so high and mighty that anything you do must be listened to. You should shut up, really. It would do your streams wonders.
Okay, as you all know, last year in December, I swapped PCs. I stopped using my 10-year-old capture streaming PC and I went to a new one.
Bill, if you're a live streamer, you should probably get new PCs at least once every 5 years. And apparently that thing didn't even have Windows 10 installed on it. Can you believe that? He just opened up his PC to so much malware potential.
Okay. The PC has been hit or miss. A lot of the stuff about it is amazing. Obviously, I've upped my streaming and capture quality quite a bit. I have the ability to do better quality video and better quality audio now that I upgraded my audio setup. But the one thing that persists is on and off technical issues with this PC. Notably, sometimes the USB ports have an issue where it's a little finicky. Like, for example, my capture device will just stop working. Huh? But I didn't do anything. Why did the capture device stop working? Then I'll just mess with it a little bit or unplug and replug, and it works. The other issue that's been ongoing is the wireless on this desktop. You might say, why do I care about the wireless? Don't you have a wired connection for everything? Yes, that is correct. However, the wireless is needed to connect that PC to many of the devices that I use in my office/studio. Notably, the lighting only works wirelessly. You can't actually have any of these lights connect via a wired connection. Also, this guy right here is wireless, amongst a few other things around here, okay? So, I basically need to have the wireless working on that PC to have all these things work. Well, the wireless has also been finicky. It's been on and off, and I haven't really found a way to consistently get it to work. Well, now on top of all of that happening, I'm having issues with my actual lighting program, Signal RGB. This is a program that I started using back in like either December or January. I take it back. I think I started actually using it back last summer, but then I actually started using it to sync with all of my lights. And that's why we've had such awesome lighting for the last year.
And it adds so much little ambience to your streams, it doesn't affect the quality of your streams barely at all. So it was definitely not worth doing troubleshooting for 30 minutes to an hour trying to figure out how it worked before you were live streaming. You set a very rigid schedule for yourself, so you should probably follow it instead of wasting your audience's time.
You may have noticed all these different themed lighting things that I do for different games, for different podcasts, for different holidays, fireworks and stuff.
No, Phil, I had absolutely no idea. It's not like you don't bring them up constantly every single stream.
Going off in here for the 4th of July. We have Christmas lights going on for Christmas, right? So, is it a huge deal? Well, yes and no.
It certainly wasn't such a huge deal to delay the stream for 30 minutes over this. But you're basically delaying the stream for an hour by going on a crash out about RGB lights. So the podcast is going to be a little truncated today, if not the gameplay.
Because here's the truth. I don't think that the lighting in here is super important. I don't think that it's a make or break deal. But just for the sake of argument, all right? Allow me to show you what it looks like with no lights.
Wow, look at all that difference. That was totally worth delaying the stream for 30 minutes for that.
So imagine this was me all day, every day. When I'm playing a game, this wouldn't affect anything. You wouldn't care, because it's just me with the face cam playing the game. In fact, it would look much like this. You ready? Oh, look, that's what it looks like anyway, so there's no difference. But anytime that I go full screen, as you can see, here's the full screen setup. Here's the podcast setup. If there's no lights, it looks a lot different. It looks a little boring. It's cool to have lights, because then they're themed to different things going on, or whatever. But again, it's not the end of the world, okay? But I do like it. Like having the lights on, okay? Oh, I just hit off again by accident. There we go.
Definitely adds something, right? And I do like having it, like, for example, if I'm playing a horror game, I'll have it be, like, blood red. Or if I'm playing a fantasy game, I'll have it be, like, green and blue, because it's, like, outdoors fantasy style, right? I like that. And it makes the podcast look good, and it makes when we talk, between streams look good. It's a nice feature. Not 100% necessary, but it's nice. The problem is, and you guys probably don't know this has been a hard, arduous task all year getting this to work.
Yep, he's having technical difficulties constantly with this program. Sounds like a Phil problem. He's obsessed with RGBs. Who asked him to even use RGBs in the first place?
Because I had to manually map each light in my office to this Signal RGB program via an IP address, the amount of LEDs each one has, and then configuring the setup of where it goes in these color setups that they have. They call them scenes. And then once it's done, it keeps messing up. Over the course of this year, I couldn't tell you how many times, my wireless network went down, and when it came back up, all the IP addresses changed, and I have no idea what they are, so I have to sit here for 2 hours troubleshooting IP addresses and LED number of lights in order to get this thing to work properly again. Then you have to reposition it all. It's like, what is going on? Why can't it just work? And if anything, I can tell you this. Now I have been modernized with my technology for a year, right?
He was gonna pat himself on the back for being 10 years late to the party. Congratulations, Philip. You did upgrades that you should have done long ago. And if the Kino work didn't happen, you probably never would have done them.
It was actually last summer when I got my gaming PC, and it was since December that I got my modern capturing and streaming PC. It's amazing the amount you can do with it. All the cool features and things. Did I ever think that I would basically be able to have a background that disappears and I could see cloned versions of myself on the screen? No, this is crazy, right? It's cool technology, for sure. But if it means stress, if it means...
Only Phil would be stressed with RGB lights not working for one stream. You know, this would take an average person 5 minutes to figure out because they do the research and understand how to work the program. With him, it takes forever because he wants to figure it out on his own, and he thinks he's smart enough to figure all this out.
Problems with the stream where I can't be here on time because the lighting's down and I can't get it up and working. I'm like, what is going on? I think it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing, the focal point of the technical issues this year has been Signal RGB. That program keeps having updates and issues, and it keeps breaking itself. And in fact, I actually figured out my lighting issues now are not the wireless network, it's Signal RGB, the program itself. Because I'm having issues with the program on my gaming PC, and my gaming PC isn't hooked up to any wireless network, okay? Even my keyboard here and mouse here that I use on the gaming PC are having issues with the lighting stuff. And I'm like, you know, I just think I've had enough. I don't really want to mess with this anymore. Like, I'm actually, because I was late almost an hour, it's about 45 minutes late to my podcast this morning for a nonsense reason. This isn't like, oh, I can't get the PC to turn on. It's like everything's on, but the lights won't work. Now I gotta sit here, dude, remap the IP. Didn't work. Try this. Still won't turn on. But now it turns on here, but it doesn't turn on here. This.
All right, Phil, knowing you, if it was as difficult as you're making it out to be, it wouldn't have been 9 months that you kept going on with this. No way. You would have been done in 2 weeks.
Really? Why doesn't it just work? I've been saying this since a year ago when we started doing more modernized technology. Why doesn't the technology just work?
Because it's the devices you have are not made by the same company that made the PC, you need to download the drivers. Now, back in the Windows 95 era, we didn't have that issue because we didn't have high-speed internet. So the CD or the floppy disk that you put into your computer would have the drivers on there that you would install onto your computer. Now you download it from the internet. So that's a whole different hassle to just make sure the ports work and things like that.
If you pay out for the technology, right? You're paying for the high-end PC. You're buying all the lights. You pay for the subscription for the RGB program.
He pays a subscription for RGB lights. Wow. Congratulations, Phil. That's awesome.
You got the wireless network set up, and I even bought a new wireless router for this because I thought that was the problem. And it still doesn't work? Then the problem's not with me. The problem's with the technology.
All right, breaking news, everybody. Caveman can't figure out RGB lights.
And I only have so much patience. You understand?
Phil, you don't have any patience for anything or anybody except yourself, yet you demand patience from everybody else.
I only have so much. I want to be here on time every day without... And I've had enough.
Want BS. He doesn't mean the BS he intentionally stirs into the stream.
So I'm putting my foot down and I made a decision this morning. I'm not doing the Signal RGB anymore. It's too much work. It works great for a while. You've seen months on end where it looked gorgeous, right? And I have 2 cool color schemes going on and there's all kinds of... But then it breaks. And when it breaks, it pisses me off. Because then I can't be here on time, and I can't hang out with you guys, and now this is business lost for...
It's so funny how he uses the words business and hang out in the same sentence. Okay, Philip, go hang out with your customers.
Because they can't get their act together, or because they push an update out that wasn't ready and it breaks something, right? How many times do we see this with Windows? Let's push an update out. Oh, it broke everything. This just happened with OBS. OBS a few days ago pushed out an update. OBS 32 beta. But now, the background removal tool that I use See this? The background removal tool that I use and looks great when I'm doing things like this or when I'm playing games, now will actually remove my chair automatically. Well, that's really cool.
Now he doesn't have to use the chair cover anymore. Congratulations, Philip.
I'd love it to remove my chair automatically. Oh, by the way, I guess I can't use green screen today because it's going to delete green on my shirt. See that? Well, now I'm glad that I tested that early to know that. Well, that's a great new feature, right? So, there we go. That's a great new feature. So let me add it. Let's update OBS. Oops, now my Stream Deck doesn't work. What? Why would updating OBS to have new features for the background removal tool break my Stream Deck, which I need to direct my streams and, you know, what?
I'm sure they have figured out that there's issues with it and they're working on a patch, Phil.
I don't know and I don't care. These nerds have wasted enough of my time. Because that's the truth. They're a bunch of nerds. They sit around programming their shit and they don't test it and then they roll it out. And if it doesn't work, all it does, it frustrates the end user. Right? What do they care? They get paid and they roll out their updates, but nothing works.
Yeah, you heard it. Phil wants heads to roll over this. His RGB lights aren't working for 30 minutes.
It's with everything. It's with Windows. It's with all your pieces of technology that are connected to your PC. It's with your phone. Your phone will have an OS update that rolls out. Oh, breaks half the thing on your phone.
Welcome to the 21st century, Philip.
And why is there no accountability?
See, I told you, if Phil wants to hold everybody to these ridiculous standards instead of holding himself accountable.
If there's an update for a program and it breaks the program, why is there no accountability for people who broke the program that you need every day?
Because computer programmers don't grow on trees like gaming live streamers do, Philip. And the thing is, what these people do is they are constantly fixing issues that pop up because it's just quicker to roll the software out and see if there's any bugs and then patch them than just testing everything the way you want it to work.
This even applies to video games now. Because now you buy a video game and the video game's broken. Doesn't work. Oh, glitchy, choppy, crashes constantly. Oh, well, we'll push out an update later. No.
Where he actually has a point, even though it's unrelated to the RGB stuff, because the program that it works with is just continuously going to be updating because they want new features. With the games, a lot of them are on posters now. That's what the discs are for. They don't really hold any data.
Make it work now, because I bought it now.
The thing with a lot of technology is that I want it to be plug and play too, but it just isn't. There are some things that actually benefit from not being plug and play though, so I'm sure he could have searched for a less sophisticated lighting system though.
If I'm paying you for a product, the product better work. If it doesn't, you should be held accountable. Your balls should be over the fire because you put out a broken product.
Applied the same standards to you, you would be shut down in an instant. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. You are just done as a streamer because this is not quality. This is funny, unintentionally funny, but this is not the live stream that your fans signed up for. They wanted you to be on time because you have a very rigid schedule that you impose on yourself. So yeah, you should follow it instead of whining about RGBs and trying to fix it for over an hour. It's a minor cosmetic difference. You only think your fans love it because you think, ooh, I have these flashy, shiny lights. Their wheels are gonna totally love this and give me hundreds of dollars today.
Period. Without exception. I don't care. I don't like that my work is f***ed up because these nerds don't know how to code and they break everything when they push out a release because that's exactly what's happened with Signal RGB. Signal RGB had an update a couple weeks ago. And since then, I've been having these on and off issues, and I'm wondering what it is. And then this morning, the epitome hit me. I'm like, why is my keyboard and my mouse over here on the gaming PC not working?
He said epitome instead of epiphany. So apparently the problems that he's been having this week stem from an update from a month ago. Okay, Phil.
This doesn't even make sense. It should be working because there's no wireless. It can't be the wireless network then. It's the program. So these nerds.
For the record, DSP is a massive nerd.
And the thing is, I spent a lot of time. You guys have no idea. I'm not exaggerating, probably 12 hours of time overnight, like late nights I'd be in here, tweaking these lights to try to get them to sync. And finally I got them to work, and now it doesn't work anymore. Like I literally can't get my lights to work properly with Signal RGB at all. They won't turn on and off properly. Sometimes I'll open Signal RGB All the lights turn on, they're beautiful. Then I open up again, none of them turn on. But I didn't do anything. I didn't change anything. How is it my fault? It's not. It's their fault. Because they don't know what the they're doing. So I'm done with it.
Alright, so you all heard it here first. He's rage quitting his RGB light subscription.
So now, from now on, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to use lights. Okay? I am. But I'm not going to use single RGB anymore. I mean, I will. That'll be for like my keyboards, mice, and my PCs, which will not be a big deal because you never see those. What you see is behind me and all along the walls here. Okay? So, the good news is, this is a lot easier to do. Okay? For example, how about this? In chat right now, I would like you guys to suggest something. Like, suggest a scene, suggest raging fires or rolling a river or fireworks or nature. Just say something in the chat, and I'm going to show you that I can actually get that to work through the app that these came with. All right?
I thought we were having a podcast and gameplay of Suikoden. Why are you ranting about RGBs for like 20 minutes? It's not your audience's problem.
Bungee jump? How do I color a bungee jump? All right, thunder. Perfect. Like a thunderstorm, right? Okay. So that would be like nature. So I gotta find a scene for that. So I hit scenes. And I go to nature. And I guarantee you there's gotta be like a storm or oh, here it is, thunderstorm. Okay? So what I gotta do is I gotta make all the lights do that. Sadly, I have to do it individually, but you'll never see this because this will already be set up earlier on. Okay, so natural, thunderstorm. Okay? Here we go. And natural. And I gotta find thunderstorm. They got downpour. Lightning. I guess lightning might work, because I don't see thunderstorm, but it might have lightning. Probably equal. Or downpour, I could try either one. We'll go with lightning and see what happens there. Whoa, okay, that's not good. That's like a strobe. See, that would give me a headache. What about downpour? I can't do that. That's actually bothering me. Oh. No, see, the strobe bothers me. Let's see if I can get one that's not a strobe. Oh, why is strobing like that? What if I do, let's see. Ripple? That's a ripple of water. Okay, there you go. So this is supposed to be like a thunderstorm. Yeah! It looks like there's like, lighting going on or whatever. There you go. Yeah, it was going crazy. The strobe button gives me a headache. I don't want strobing like that. But that's what I mean. What I will do is I'll have to set up scenes that look good for different themes. Okay? And I could also have it be AI generated. Like, I can actually type into here, there's a command, and I can say, hey, make the lights look like a thunderstorm. And then they'll actually program the lights and just do like an AI generated thunderstorm scene. So I could do that too, okay? But the thing is, once this is on, it will not disconnect. Because this is all now just going, it's not via my wireless network connected to my PC or anything. It's just going through their app. And their app is a lot more stable than, going through, my wireless to my desktop PC. So, here we go. I'm going to put the walls on the ripple effect.
Alright, I ran out of music to do. I guess we're gonna just fast forward then.
The signal RGB caused us pain and misery. Seriously, I'm just done with it. I want to come to work and have everything work every single stream. And I know that's not possible. I know in life, that's not possible. You can never fully have control of everything. I know that. I'm not ignorant, right? I'm not stupid. But at the very same time, you have to have some level of, expectation that your stuff's gonna work. And it pisses me off that I have to give up on this. I worked hard to get that signal RGB to work. I set up all these scenes, these custom colors, effects, and everything. And I just had enough. It's to the point where it's like, it's not worth the effort, right? what I'll just do is every night before I sign off, or before I shut everything down, I'll say, what do I want tomorrow to be? Like, for example, tomorrow is Cronus, the New Dawn, right? So it's like space horror.
Yeah, he will overcomplicate anything for himself. He should just have like 3 to 5 set ones and just rotate between them. And then, okay, maybe after a couple months, you set 5 different ones. It's not that hard, Philip.
So I'll probably either do something that's supposed to look like space, or maybe I'll do something that's like supposed to be scary, like blood-curdling, you know, like maybe I'll have the AI generate some scenes for me and do it that way. Have the AI say, you know, do a horror scene in space or something with aliens or something and see what it comes up with. Or whatever, right? So, yeah, I mean, I apologize. I didn't want to be 45 minutes late today.
But you chose to be. You had to have those fancy lights working.
And obviously, I wanted to get this off my chest, but here's the good news. If I just use the app to do my lighting now, rather than working with this other program through my PC, we should never have this problem ever again. Like, the app always syncs, no problem. I mean, I literally haven't used that app since January. I turned it on and immediately all the lights work.
Go figure, when you actually open up the application that's compatible with it, everything works.
Because it's the app that's made from the company who made all the lights, so it works, you know? I'm not using a third-party thing that now it might work, it might not work. So I'm sorry for the late start. And hopefully these lights look good, right? They look pretty good. It's supposed to be like rolling a storm coming through, like a lightning storm. That's what it looks like, right? Pretty cool.
Wow, it took him months to figure this out. I'm really just astonished by this.
So, all right. Sorry for that. And now we can actually get started with the real show. And we will not have this issue any further. I've now said enough of this nonsense. Seriously. I just can't take it. It's driving me bonkers. All right. All right, so anyway.
Yeah, and by now you may think we're done, but we're not. He's still got more to add to this.
RGB Kings, what an appropriate name for today. Daily Demo, good morning. RGB Lover, all these RGB names now are going to come out of the woodwork today. It's all good. Listen, that's fine. You can use those names today. I give you permission because I'm just as annoyed. And
Notice how he said just today. If you bring it up 3 months down the line, he'll probably ban you.
I'm just tired of it. Like, why is my, why on earth is this bothering me and having me not be able to work? Stupid lighting.
Well, while you may think it's the application not functioning or the system not functioning, it is your inability to ignore it and stream is what the issue is.
The dumbest thing. And it worked too. The thing is, it's not the lights work. It was this program. And I'm like, what am I doing to myself? It was nice while it lasted. Like, no lie, from January through, you know, August, we had these really nice synced lights, right? And I liked them, but at this point, I've had enough. We'll just, we'll have, and the thing is, too, if I start using AI-generated lights and stuff, it's going to look different every day. It's going to be a little different, I think. So, we'll see how it goes. All right, let's get the shout-outs, all right, because we already have people who have contributed this morning.
Someone took $2. Says, where would you say Dark Side Phil ends and Phil Burnell begins? Probably the second I walk out of this room.
Oh well, here we go again. Phil thinking he's playing a character and he's entirely different outside of his little streaming box. Phil, we know you're exactly the same.
Because as I've told you guys this year, well, not this year, basically since Kat, you know, moved in and we started our life together, I created a separation between work and what I put out on the internet. All right, so
I think you mean a separation between what you do at home versus what you stream online.
what's in here is 100% work and it stays in here. But the moment that I walk out of this door,
I entirely doubt that what happens on the stream doesn't come up on the dinner table. Because you know Phil is just dying to tell Kat all about his boring day. And just rant and rave about the detractors and stuff like that. Like, she gets it. She was a Phil fan back in the day. So of course she wants to hear all about it.
there's a whole other life that I have that you guys are not privy to unless I tell you about it when I'm here on a stream, like on a podcast, right?
Except when you tell us what you have for dinner all the time and your day off.
You don't know what I'm up to. You don't know what my wife and I are doing. You don't know about any of this stuff back there. In fact, I can tell you, in the last 24 hours, there have been 3 or 4 different things that happened in our personal life that I'm not going to tell you about because it's none of your business.
Let me guess, it's probably mundane stuff like taking out the trash, having breakfast, eating, showering, cleaning Jasper's litter box. And of course, if you told the story about it, it would take 20 minutes long for each thing.
Okay? So, there you go. That's where I would say that door is where Darkside Phil ends and Phil Burnell begins. When I walk out that door, I'm no longer Darkside Phil because No one in real life calls me DSP or Darkside Phil. Okay? It's only on the internet.
Phil, you're not playing a character. We've seen Project 7. We know your acting abilities are not up to chop. You're behaving exactly how you would behave outside of your streaming room. Don't try and pretend otherwise.
Okay. Let's see here.
So Fox McFox did a $5 super chat and says, don't tell me you wasted an hour of my time for RGB lights. I did not waste an hour of your time or anyone's time. It was 45 minutes, first of all.
And this is the issue with Phil that's been going on for years. He thinks half an hour of pre-roll or more is acceptable because he thinks he's like a big corporate show like a Nintendo Direct. Phil, there's barely 200 people watching you on YouTube these days. It's not that complicated. His ego is so massive that he can't appreciate what his fans think. He's like, okay, everything I do is golden and right, so therefore my fans must love it. Nothing I can do can possibly be incorrect. My time is extremely valuable, but their time isn't, because he thinks whatever he does, even if it's just playing music on pre-rolls, is entertaining for them. He doesn't think they have anything else going on for them outside of the stream, because he probably doesn't have anything going outside either.
But it wasn't a waste because at this point, it was worth it because now I've actually given up on the whole RGB thing. Like I said,
he has to justify his decisions constantly because what he's thinking is all of his fans watch all of his stuff all the time and they have nothing else going on for them. That's why he thinks it's okay to constantly waste their time. That's why he doesn't have much going on for him on his streams. He's not getting growth because he treats his fans as people that are like strapped there in the chair watching him and they're forced to pay up. It doesn't work like that, Phil. That may be the audience you want, but it doesn't work like that. And you always have to explain that you are correct in every decision that you do because you decided to do it. No, you're wasting your audience's time. You could have figured this out very easily on your own time without wasting yet another start to your stream. But for you, that's apparently too hard to think about.
from now on, I will just easily get this stuff done through the app and we will not waste any more time on lighting. I'm done with it. Officially, I'm 100% done with wasting time on lighting. It's just not worth it.
It certainly wasn't worth it to your fans today, and you probably lost a paid viewer. Fox McFox said he was going to pull out. So there is consequences for mistreating your audience and not valuing their time. You're not entitled to anything. You're not entitled to their attention or their money, Phil. But your greed and your ego thinks that just because you've done this for 17 years that you can keep on doing this. And that's why you may not lose all your audience, but piece by piece, people have left, and that's more than the people that are coming in. So yeah, you can keep doing this and keep justifying it, but once the illusion collapses, they're gone.
So it was not a waste at all. It's actually going to be productive and a good positive change for the future. It's just I had to go through the frustration now to come to this determination.
So basically, Phil wasted your time, and now he's trying to say, well, actually, it's a good thing, because I have to do less work now. I don't have to deal with all this nonsense that's been troubling me and confusing me, so you all benefit, because instead of doing what I should have done in the first place, I just worried about it and wasted all of your time on this instead. I could have had GTA 4 with mods working now, but instead I wasted the time on RGB lights. I could have been editing videos, but instead I wasted the time on RGB lights. You see how this works? Phil spends his times in these pitfall traps that don't benefit his audience whatsoever.
You know, really, again, for 8-9 months I had it working. And then all of a sudden it just doesn't want to work again because I guess there was a program update. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to have my work affected and disturbed by, it just doesn't make sense, you know? So enough of that.
Don't worry, this is not the last time that Phil's streams will be derailed by nonsense. He is the pro of finding ways to be tedious and exhausting. And then he will gaslight you into thinking that's actually important.
Okay. And then Jimmy DeSanta did a $2 super chat and says, sup, advice for a fam intervention. It's hot. What do you mean? A family intervention?
Well, Phil, you are well equipped to answer this question because you have a family of Jasper and Kat.
And so the family needs to intervene to say, hey, listen, we really need you to change your behavior because you're hurting yourself and everyone around you, right? That's all I know about, but I don't know. I don't know if you know. I've never been involved with a family intervention. So I don't think I can really help you there, but good luck with that. Yeah, exactly. Bookworm says you got the wrong Phil. That's Dr. Phil you need to talk about. Not Darkside Phil. It's Dr. Phil. It's close. Both start with the D and both have Phil in them, but they're two different people. Thank you guys for being patient. I apologize that you know, I had to put up. Oh, by the way, an announcement.
Well, you were close there, Phil. You were close to acknowledging your fans fully, but you got sidetracked by YouTube telling you that you can now have automated dubbing on your videos, even though they're in English, so not many non-English speakers would probably want to view it anyway, but that's how YouTube works. Like, this is really only something that is probably for TV shows and such like that or on YouTube, but I digress. So DSP continues to not really care what his audience thinks of how he does things. Because if you say, hey, it's ridiculous that you held up the stream for 30 minutes because of lights, and then you had a rant about it, so you're wasting an hour of our time, he will say you are ridiculous and he will ban you. He doesn't appreciate that his viewers' time is valuable. He doesn't appreciate that his viewers choose to watch him, and he doesn't appreciate that they choose to give him their money. That's the issue with Phil. He thinks he's entitled to all three of those things, when that's absolutely not the case. And that's why he's run into so much trouble over the years, because he acts like that. It's so transparent, and he gets a lot of flack and criticism from that, because every time he doesn't hit a goal, he has to complain about it. He may say, I'm not complaining about it, but when you constantly talk about it and you make daily rep videos that are all based around whether you hit the goal or not, it's pretty certain what you feel. So once again, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time with another 220 video.